So basically today what I still want to talk about is the balancing between the masculine and the feminine, these two energies. So basically I kind of feel that collectively there is a big fight between the masculine and the feminine. And it seems inevitable because the divine feminine is penetrating in with really high frequency at the moment, and then the matrix basically doesn't like it, of course, because the divine feminine is basically the number one healing curing energy, which is gonna break the matrix down, which of course matrix and represented by people who have been programmed by it is not going to like it, so they're just crazily attacking, they're crazily stopping. And on the other hand, people who have having actually a lot of us, we have got traumas, we've got triggers that we don't want to tap into, but once divine feminine energy comes, it triggers us so much when it comes to this. So that's the time, even with people, normal people, or even with people who are more awakened, they also get triggered. They also can be reacting on the current frequency, right? Especially for people who are very used to being very masculine, right? Whether you're a man or a woman, you can be basically very masculine, thinking in a very masculine way, behaving in a masculine way. And this kind of masculine energy is not really aligned with the divine masculine from my point of view. I kind of feel a really divine masculine energy is not people who are very eager to control, very eager to establish his own status. I think the real masculine energy are people who are putting people that are soft, gentle, and small the first. So this divine masculine is not just focusing on being powerful, being in ruling, being dominating, but the masculine who are more focusing on use that kind of power to serve love or serve compassion, to make sure that the small and gentle women and kids, right, are being protected. And to me, that is more like a divine masculine energy. And a lot of people who are very masculine but they are not focusing on that, they think, they are even laughing about people who are very gentle and small, that more just want to step on these people and claiming these people theirs, and then telling the world, I am the king and everybody listens to me, and these little ones are just my trophies, right? That's why these people, very masculine people, that are also being triggered so much at the moment when the divine feminine is not really aligned with them anymore. Before, women are very easy to make compromises. Women are saying yes to howsoever they're being treated, and they're giving their support of their feminine energy to the masculine because they basically have no choice but to do that. And then the masculine will just absorb and take all those loving, soft admiration energy toward them and claiming themselves a king, and then keep on moving. That's why everybody is trying to slaughter a woman and to show the world, I am the king. But I think it is a very traditional sense of way how masculine and feminine are running together. The real one, the real sense of the balancing, the union of the masculine and the feminine are based on respect and love. Because nowadays the divine feminine can be equally independent and powerful. They don't have to feel they need to depend on the divine masculine just to survive. No, not anymore. The divine feminine is independently stand on her own feet as a feminine woman. She doesn't have to be super masculine or to depend on someone super masculine to survive, because that is not the truth. The truth is that we're all equally free. We can do whatever we want. The divine feminine has gotten a lot of support from her own strength as a woman, as a natural woman, right? That's why the collective masculine is like shocked and getting a panic mood. It's like, oh my god, she's not under my control anymore. She is like a free woman. She can do whatever she wants. Even if I use sex, even if I use money or anything to threat her, she's like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck anymore. And then he's like, oh, how am I going to control the woman? If I don't control the woman, how am I going to establish my status in the society? So he is very much in a panic mood. I mean, the collective masculine currently. But what I'm hoping is that through this period of a challenging time, that men can start to realize that they need to focus on their own traumas, to realize where they have been behaving or thinking wrong when it comes to how to relate to a woman. Is it like he has to slaughter her to feel that he is doing something correct? Or is it like he needs to change his way, his attitude toward the woman that he's attracted and showing more affection and love, right? I don't mean that you should feel, oh my god, now the divine feminine is getting so strong and so powerful, I should be a slave of her and then do whatever he asked me to do. Or to be a little bit becoming more girly, to start to wear some makeup, to, you know, this is something I also thought. It's like some guys feeling like they've been defeated, so they're like, okay, I'm just gonna join the feminine energy and become the feminine in a very superficial way. But that's not really the way to unite. The way is that you can be as strong as possible as the masculine, but just inside you started to activate, to look into that soft, vulnerable part inside of you, because that is your divine feminine inside. It's not like you're a strong, tough guy and then you don't have a soft parts. You do have a soft, vulnerable parts. As the women, it just you have never looked into it because you don't allow yourself to look into it, because the society has been telling you that being vulnerable is being weak. But that's not the truth. We're all vulnerable. We're human beings and we have our skin super soft. We're just very soft, vulnerable beings, and everybody is vulnerable. It's just natural. If you're not, then you're maybe a machine or a robot, right? So there's nothing wrong to accept that you are vulnerable. You may be very tough outside, but you're vulnerable inside. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's every reason to protect that vulnerability, that vulnerable in parts inside of yourself. And now when you can be able to sense that vulnerability inside of yourself, when you're able to understand why you need to protect your vulnerable side of yourself, right? You will realize why the divine feminine has to be that, right? Because it's in every one of us. We all are very sensible. We're all very sensitive. We're all very vulnerable. It gives you the reason to start to realize the importance to protect women, protect children, rather than to bully them, killing them, controlling them. Once you sense that vulnerable woman, that vulnerable little child inside of yourself, right? And then you will start to actually unite the woman and the child, the vulnerable parts inside yourself, and then you become whole. You realize, yes, I'm very tough outside, but I'm very soft and vulnerable inside, and that both sides are me. That's why I cannot tolerate people who are not protect people who are vulnerable, people who are small, people who are gentle, because I am also vulnerable, I'm also gentle, I'm also small, right? So in this way, you're not going to be fighting with the feminine energy, right? You're going to protect her because she is part of you. And that's the time we can stop this big, stupid fight. So far the fighting is because a lot of people collectively, they haven't get to the point where they should be look within into themselves to look at those vulnerable parts and claim it. That's why the divine feminine is like super strong and penetrating and just standing up there, saying to everybody, please look within, stop this fight, stop this control, and look at this divine feminine which is inside of you, and then automatically this fight will stop because you're just fighting with yourself, right? And when more people, we can be able to look within that vulnerable part inside of ourselves, the matrix is gonna stop, because matrix is based on ego of power. It's because a lot of people, they buy into that, thinking, wow, as long as I'm being egoistically powered by the society, right, by the people around me, and I feel, wow, I am strong, I'm powerful, I'm good, and then I don't give a shit about how other people are feeling, and I'm just gonna running like a beast, right? This is how Matrix is functioning. It's just survival mode. It's just about who is the most powerful, who stays on top, and nobody cares about how you're feeling. Nobody cares about to be sensitive or vulnerable, and actually people are laughing at it when you're being sensible or vulnerable. So this paradigm is shifting. A lot of men are becoming softer, which is beautiful. Why not? Right? So when you are not able to show you are being soft and vulnerable, when you are still full of hatred, full of anger, trying to say to everybody, oh, I am the biggest here, everybody listens to me because I am just the toughest guy here, sort of thing. It is your ego that is crying, shouting for the last round, the ending game, trying to claim winning the ending game, but you're not going to win, because that's not how we are evolving. We are evolving into more loving, sensitive beings, caring, loving, spiritual, and less aggressive, less insensitive, less cruel to other people. It's just inevitable. Whether you feel comfortable about it or not, whether it gets you mad or not, it's just going to move this way, because this is how it's evolved, right? We have 7 chakras, and the heart chakra is above the lower three chakras. I'm sorry, the lower three chakras, just lower three chakras. You have never seen that the first chakra becomes the seventh chakra, right? So the lower three chakras, they are the foundation, but you cannot let them run to the top. So the matrix is only based on the lower three chakras. They kill you to have access to your heart chakra, right? You have some people, right, not able to expressing love, or not able to, communicate verbally from the throat chakra either, or they don't have vision about life. They're just running like slaves. They don't know what's going on in their life. They don't have a plan. They don't have not vision. The sixth chakra, and then the top chakra, which is connect to you with the sky, the divine. A lot of people, they are not getting an opportunity to actually develop the upper four chakras. It's because we are still very comfortable with the matrix system now. If more people are like, I had enough, I want to become a more loving person, I don't care whether I'm the most powerful in the house, right? I don't care whether, other people are going to listen to me or not. I just want to be a softer person, a more loving person, a more happier person of myself. And I want to communicate with people. I want to be friends with people. I want to talk about my feelings, right? And I want to have more visions about my own life rather than following some other's plans, some other's rules about how I'm supposed to live my life, right? And I want to meditate more, connect myself with invisible worlds to know more about this physical little world. When you have that kind of desires, that is being brilliant, it's being courageous to move forward, to be more awakened, to be more evolved into your potential as a soul, right? So the first step for a lot of people local is to realize you should be able to just had enough of it, right? This kind of old way of living your life for thousands of years, right? You should be feeling like, I just had enough of it. Why I have to live this way? That whatever I do, I have to see whether other people are approving it or not, right? Why? I am a